Hi, you clicked onto today's tropical tidbit for Friday. Got a few areas to watch over here in the Atlantic. This is a tropical wave in the western Caribbean. Got a nice little batch of thunderstorms with it this morning, but this waited too long to develop and is moving west-northwest into Central America. Should just be a rain event for them. Not really a significant threat for tropical development. We got our large envelope of low pressure over here in the eastern Atlantic, and this may try to become Danielle over the next several days. Right now it's got competing centers, one over here, one over here. These will have to conglomerate together, and this will be starting out northwest, perhaps moving west-northwest, and then recurving is likely sometime next week, but we'll see how that goes. All this dry air in here will probably limit the system ultimately in strength, but we'll have to see if this can at least knock down another name. This over here is of course Tropical Storm Colin. Zooming in on the system here, we see a very nice well-defined circulation, clearly a tropical cyclone. These upper clouds over here still indicate strong wind shear pushing most of the convection off to the east of the center. But look at what's starting to go on here on the water vapor. You can see that the tide is still fractioned to two upper lows, one sitting over here northeast of the Bahamas, remaining there. This one is starting to lift out over here, and as you see this lift out, remember the heat is getting punched northward right towards Bermuda over here, and so as this heat moves northward, it's going to start finding that weakness in the tut and ballooning this ridge up between the two upper lows. And if this can weaken the wind shear enough and get convection to wrap around the center of Colin, we could see a nicely strengthening storm approaching the island over here. And with this upper low over here backing away to the south, you'll get a nice ventilated outflow channel in here, and this could be a situation where the system really tries to go to town right as it reaches the island and goes north of the island. Peak intensity may occur north of Bermuda, but it will be a strengthening storm approaching the island, and this is something they should watch closely. You notice over here on the big loop, here's Bermuda, here's Colin. You notice a little bit of an eastward jog in the movement over the last few hours, but what should happen is this should just be a run towards the convection, and then with the high over here, this should resume a north-northeast movement towards the island. Now, if it takes a track just east of the island, that will spare them because most of the weather is nil over here on this side of the system. But if it comes up just west or over the island, they're in for a very nasty weekend with all this tropical storm force conditions to the east of the center. Could this become a hurricane? It's definitely possible. It could become a Cat 1. It may occur north of Bermuda if it does happen at all. But right now I'm still going to go with a high-end, strong tropical storm coming towards the island in 36 hours or so, give or take 12. But this, you can see it's a very nice system. If it just wraps that convection around, this will be something to deal with. This will be no picnic for these guys over here, but they're on top of it. They got a tropical storm warning out for Bermuda, and they're warning their folks out there that there's bad weather coming their way. So they're doing a good job with that. And you can see the wind shear already starting to lower directly north of the storm over here on the wind shear map this morning. Right through the shear zone, wind shear already starting to lower. So we'll have to see if the thunderstorms can start wrapping a little more today. Tomorrow will probably be its best shot at trying to strengthen, so Bermuda should keep a close eye on this. Now, looking at the water vapor loop, well, actually, first of all, let's go over here. Notice where, okay, the areas of interest, where are they naturally going to be? We got Colin, we got future Danielle possibly, and we got this. That's three areas to watch. There's a fourth in disguise. I'm going to show you what it is. Here's the water vapor loop. Now remember, we're talking about these upper lows. This is going out, this is gone. This is staying put. This is staying northeast of the Bahamas. This trough over here won't be able to lift it out. When this lifts out, this ridge builds back over the eastern United States in a few days, and this, guess what happens? It gets caught, it starts backing southwest around the periphery of the ridge, and this front in here, this gets stuck. These fronts love to get stuck. You get this is an abnormally strong trough for August. When this lifts out, this front gets left behind, and guess what happens if it gets down into the northeast Gulf with a trough split coming this way? You're looking for trouble. You can see this on the GFS anomaly map. You can see the ridge builds back into the east, and you got this trough split sitting underneath. This is day 5. This is what's currently northeast of the Bahamas, back southwest this way. And look what happens on the European at day 5. Trough split, little low over here, got this front sitting down here, and you got a low sitting in the eastern Gulf. And this is something we're going to have to watch for possible homegrown mischief in the Gulf of Mexico, and this is going to cause another ruckus with the oil spill folks over there. We'll see how this goes and whether this materializes, but this is something you want to watch. You always watch old fronts if they get down draped over the Gulf of Mexico, especially when you have a trough split involved. things can get ugly in a situation like this. The other models don't really see much with this yet, but the European is sniffing out something that might go on in here, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for mischief. And also we'll have to look at this, possibly Danielle over here in the Central Atlantic. So lots of activity going on just the first week of August, and we are already knocking down perhaps 2 storms and maybe even a third. Who knows? We'll have to see. Keep an eye on it. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.